Pitch one from Blocktickets Park in Colorado Springs. El Paso County Baseball Miracles hosting the Greeley Grays on the Front Range Baseball Network. Thad Anderson on a Thursday night. Beautiful evening in Colorado Springs. Starting pitcher for the Miracles is Sean Eierman. He delivers ball one up, and pitch two is also lofty in the zone. And Brogan Barr, the leadoff batter for the Greeley Grays, has a 2-0 count. Brogan Barr leads off. 9-inning ball game formatted for tonight. There's one to the zone, a 2-1 count with a hearty ring of the strike. Sean Eierman finds the zone. Louis De La Cueva in his familiar crouch behind home plate. Heavy workload for Louis for the Miracles this summer, and he loves it. Ball misses, and Brogan Barr works himself to a 3-1 advantage. Pitch from Eierman is lifted behind first base. That's going to get foul. Second baseman will take over. Well played defensively. That's the best angle defensively, is for the second baseman to relieve the first baseman of his duties. Jeremiah Lucero relieves Austin Reese of his duties on the pop-up behind first base, one away. Sun splashes the field now from the first base side. Sun setting out to the west over the majestic Rocky Mountains in Colorado. Pitch is good on the inside part of the plate from Eierman, who stabilized himself nicely in that first at-bat. Couple high pitches out of the zone, gets to a 3-1 count, gets a pop-up. Now he starts with a one-strike count to Cole Crosant. Goes back to that inside part, missed this time. Crosant will play second base defensively. He bats number 2 right here. Brogan Barr popped out. He'll be center fielder on defense. Ren Sato, the shortstop, is on deck. Sato bats third. We're staying on that inside. That's 3 pitches. And even though it's a 2-1 count, 2 of those for balls, those are prove-it pitches from Eierman, and he shows 3 times he can get right in under the hands along the kneecaps of Cole Crosant. Here comes the 2-1. That's down the middle. Crosant fouls that, looping to the bullpen and down for a foul ball, first base side. As he often does, out pops Jacob Watley. Frisky, energetic, bubbly, enjoyable personality for the Miracles is down picking up that ball. 2-2 count. Crosant chops this foul. Miracles defense, they've got the battery of Eierman pitching and De La Cueva catching. The outfielders in center field, Hunter Morgan, right fielder Maddox Stahl, left fielder Bryson Martinez have the deep grass assignments. Hunter Morgan anchoring in center field. Big outfield here at Blocktickets Park. Good take by Cole Crosant. Leaves that up for a full count. Infield for the Miracles, up the middle, Jackson Schlepper at shortstop. Second baseman Jeremiah Lucero made that pop-up catch a moment ago. 3-2, 1 away. Bases clear. Here it comes from Eierman. That one is down. Doinks away from Louis De La Cueva, who cleans that up. And Cole Crosant takes his free pass. One out, one on. The corner defenders, third baseman Jansen Roberts, and at first base, Austin Reese. The defense for El Paso County Baseball Miracles strike the call to Ren Sato. Sato is batted in the bottom half of the order for the games I've seen with the Grays. He's in the 3 spot today. Watches that pitch bend down away. 1-1 count. Bottom half of the order for the games I've seen with the Grays. Over to first, and back is Cole Crosant. Not inclined to go that time. Inclined to go this time. Off goes Croson. Throw from De La Cueva is on the back side of the headfirst slide of Cole Croson. Safely in with a stolen base with one out. 1-2 count. The advantage for Eierman on the mound. Closed set position for Eierman, looking back to second a couple times. Nice work by Louis De La Cueva, who rolled himself on that pitch, just kind of shaped himself into it, and flattened that down in the batter's boxes, keeping it at 2-2 and a runner at second. No move up allowed by De La Cueva. 2-2 pitch from Eierman. Sato flares that shallow toward the gap, running, diving catch. What a play in center field. Croson will scramble back. What a catch in center field from Hunter Morgan. Covered some ground. We don't have route data. We are near the airport. I wonder if they caught Hunter Morgan in the flight path on their screens. Flying in from center field. Beautiful catch. You can see on your screen that sort of dry spot back behind shortstop, that pretty dry spot, the most notable of the lighter colored grass out there. And from where you see Hunter Morgan right now, he went about that far to make that catch, laid out at the end of it to his backhand side and made the catch for 2 away. So now that I've finished marveling at that, I'll click the update to the bug, get you 2 outs on the screen with 1 away. And Deegan Corrigan bats cleanup again tonight. He did that last night in Fort Collins against the Foxes. Pitch down, 2-0 count. Sean Eierman has had to put a little mileage on the odometer in the first inning, but he's in position to get out of here with no runs allowed. Down again, and Corrigan takes the second walk of the inning. First base was empty. Now prime up a runner behind Cole Croson at second, Deegan Corrigan. And Mike Mignonia, the right fielder, climbs in the right side batter's box. Mignonia's first pitch from Eierman. He swings and fouls it back to the net. Vibes script lowercase logo, bonfire logo in patriotic colors behind home plate. Good pitch from Eierman. Mike Mignonia had a foul off and now a called strike for an 0-2. Eierman really went for it on that one, trying to yank that pitch, bend it hard, and he overthrew it a little bit, 1-2. Or overthrew it a lot. A little bit might be less than accurate. Here he comes again. Eierman couldn't quite get the offer. It was tempting. Going to ask for help. Oh, and rang it up. Did get the offer. Mike Mignonia lets his bat sail across the grass area toward the third base dugout. Rung up from the C slot, umpire position. Did go around, and the strikeout for Eierman, his first of the game. 2 pop-outs and a K. A couple of walks put the Grays on base, but Eierman left him out there with a strikeout pitch. Half inning for the Grays is booked. No hits, couple runners. After a run rule result with the Foxes in Fort Collins last night coming out of the All-Star hiatus, the Grays want to get back to their winning ways. They've got a 6-game losing streak they're rolling on right now. Going to try to get things started on the right foot with Scott Thompson, the pitcher. Looks like Scott is scheduled to bat number 9, too, so no DH for the pitcher Thompson tonight. He's going 2-way tonight. Scott will be the fourth man up to bat next half inning. First, he'll try to get through Hunter Morgan, Jackson Schlepper, and Austin Reese for the Miracles. Bottom of one, home team Miracles have Morgan Schlepper Reese facing Scott Thompson, righty for the Greeley Grays. Fires strike one through the swing of center fielder Hunter Morgan, who made his submission for play of the game right out of the gates on the third batter of the top of the first. Great catch in center from Hunter Morgan. He's got an 0-1 or an 0-1 count. There's a ball on the scoreboard up here. 1-0 says the scoreboard, but when you swing and miss, survey says that's down for a 1-1 count. Scott Thompson, the long righty. Seen Scott pitch at least for my third time this season. Listed at 6'3", 170 out of Greeley, Colorado. Pitched at University High in Greeley. 6 1/4 feet of right-handed pitcher on the mound. Misses upstairs, 3-1 count. Scott's full windup. He starts from a side posture, kind of like a stretch would look like, in a set position of a stretch delivery, but he starts with that toes pointed toward the third base line positioning. Walk pitch there, puts the first man aboard, and pitcher Scott Thompson asks his catcher, Jake Onderland, to come out for a minute. Scott and Jake working on the plan here, getting things dialed in after one batter in the bottom of the first walk. Had 2 walks to the Grays issued by Sean Eierman, but he got a couple pop-outs and a strikeout. Thompson opens with a walk, and Jackson Schlepper succeeds Hunter Morgan in the right side batter's box. He wanted a bunt, got a breaking ball that he fly swatted at a time or two, and it's a strike on the offer. Although, I think that was a strike, called strike, actually, the way that one was rung up. That was a called strike. He waved around at it, but that thing bent to the zone. Pretty good breaking pitch from Thompson. I don't know what that conversation was. Sometimes that's a cross-up or just trying to get on the same page with signs. I kind of wonder if Thompson maybe was telling his catcher, Jake Onderland, what he felt best with. That'll happen at times, too. He doesn't want to be shaking his catcher off with great frequency, but maybe thinking he wants to lead with breaking ball, supplement that with straight stuff. Runner takes a jump but no break, and that pitch is down. 2-1 count for Thompson against Jackson Schlepper. Scott from the stretch closes the stance. Roller back to the middle. Got a chance at a pair here. 4-6 and on to 3. 4-6-3 DP. Nicely played by the Grays. Cole Crosant is playing second base. Shortstop is Ren Sato. They roll it up and erase the leadoff walk along with Schlepper on his ground ball. Twin killing. That one, Scott Thompson, the pitcher, reached down for it, and it wound up being the kind of ball that you're glad the pitcher didn't field. Crosant was shaded enough. It was toward the bag. Cole probably could have taken that himself had he elected that. He made the short underhand flip to Sato, and Ren made the turn on it. I like the score bug tonight. If you look at the colors of the teams, that reminds me of the best damn band in the land and the current national champions in college football. That's right, OH. Two-0 count. Thompson trying to get 3 batters and out of here. He's down to Austin Reese. Austin has been one of the highly enjoyable offensive performers in the Front Range League in Season 1 for this summer Woodbat Collegiate League along the Front Range of the Rocky Mountains. 8 total teams, 7 in Colorado, 1 in western Nebraska. And Reese dips away from a ball 4 that was at his chin. Jansen Roberts, third baseman, batting number 4 in the order. Roberts delivers a retrieved game ball, returns that back to the plate, and steps in. Runner takes off. Reese had a bouncing lead, and he's going to stand up into second base. Austin Reese saw something on Scott Thompson's delivery off the mound that gave him the free run. He timed it right. He got the jumping lead and was able to continue his motion right into acceleration. Takes off again after trying to signal the pitch, and that's through, and a run's home for the El Paso County Baseball Miracles. Jansen Roberts has been another high output offensive player, and he tallies RBI number 1 of the game, opening the scoring between the Grays and the Miracles. Solid barrel base hit. Reese scores on it. Roberts has the single. And the Miracles have the first run. Maddox Stahl, right fielder on defense. Get through the Grays defense for you here after this pitch. Strike 1 on the inside part from Thompson. Scott Thompson on the hill and Jake Onderland behind the plate. Outfielders, center fielder Brogan Barr. In right field, Mike Mignonia, and the left fielder Alejandro Verdugo. A 1 pitch from Thompson. A really closed stance. You can see how his feet, not that it's wrong or anything, I'm just observing kind of how his body mechanics work. Delivers a bending strike, 0-2. Crosant and Sato up the middle. Cole Crosant at second, Ren Sato at short. Deegan Corrigan, the big target at first base, and Caleb Kasari at third base on D. Runner takes off here, and the pitch bends down below the zone. Second stolen base of the inning for the Miracles. One-two pitch, 2 out. 2-2 count on the wide miss, and Onderland's going to go back out. Second time these two have had a conference. Well, on the next one, they'll get catering. Quick conversation. Maverick Alcaria, first base coaching, player coach, handling the first base traffic for the Miracles. They've had a little bit of that. Reese and Roberts, the two runners, along with Morgan, who drew a walk. Yep, here's the catering visit. Count is 3-2. Onderland goes halfway out. Wrist snaps the ball back to Thompson. And I don't know the inside details of any background of any of this. I don't think it's going to happen. If this is a movie, one more time they are off the page, you might see the catcher charge the pitcher and go brawl with him. Runner takes off. Ball is hacked high over third base, over toward the dugout. It's going to get over the net, bounce off of the third base dugout that you see on the far left of your screen with the big Toyota banner atop it. That ball smashed down on that red, right around that red box on the far end of the dugout where the red background behind Toyota is at. Got you the foul pole shot again, foul pole to foul pole here at Blocktickets Park. You can see the yellow foul poles that extend up above the outfield wall on each side. Here comes a 3-2 again with 2 outs. That's ticked foul back. Stahl still alive. Maddox Stahl, congratulations on the All-Star selection along with Jansen Roberts, who's out at second base. Stahl's going to get first, and Roberts is going to move up to third on a ball four wild pitch. Double damage there on a ball, and they're having another conversation. Onderland and Thompson just too much frequency for the pitcher-catcher combo to have to be reviewing, comparing notes. They could still work through this with a one-run yield. Another all-star right here. De La Cueva goes pop-up, and that ball right along the netting is catchable. Over goes Deegan Corrigan and catches the first pitch pop-out from Louis De La Cueva. All-Star, congratulations to Louis, catching a couple nights ago, and Gehring in the All-Star game, first ever Front Range League All-Star. Spectacular. One run comes in, but Scott Thompson and Jake Onderland and the Grays D figure it out to allow no more than that. One inning played, one run. Miracles have the lead. Caleb Kasari has the first AB of the second inning. Kasari, the number 6 batter for the Greeley Grays. One ball delivered. Ironman comes with it again. That's rolled through at first base. Austin Reese collapsed down onto a knee, tried to backhand grab that. It rolls underneath, and Kasari has a base hit. Caleb Kasari. Strike called to Alejandro Verdugo, left fielder. Field lights illuminate at Blocktickets Park. I was just thinking during the break, really pleasant night in Colorado Springs and pretty solid runner going here. De La Cueva gets a swing and a strikeout, receives that pitch, and the runner does steal second. Kasari takes a steal on a strikeout to Verdugo, one away. Good cloud cover, still allowing some light through, though. It's lighter clouds, still some illumination, but kind of a pleasant lighting, but probably going to lose light faster tonight than the average open sky night. Now the lights are almost to full burn as they heat up for the 9-inning ball game. Add that out to your lower right-hand score bug with a 1-0 advantage for the Miracles. Jake Onderlin, the catcher. Onderlin swinging one of my favorite bats in the Front Range League. I like the color scheme of that thing. It's like a burgundy barrel, something in the burgundy or Merlot color spectrum. It's like a black handle and taper below that. Strike to Onderlin gets the count to 2-1. Sean Ironman from the stretch has the big bend at the waist, leans down to look at his sign, then comes up and delivers down in the dirt. 3-1 the count. Pitch bounced down the line. That's a foul ball. Miracles third baseman Jansen Roberts tried to pick it near the bag. It wound up just foul. It bounced off his leather right over near Tim Galindo in the third base coaching box, head coach for the Greeley Grays. Zach Bissell and Nate Lovato on the staff. Looks like, are they both in town tonight? Trying to see down in the dugout. I think they both might be here. Looks like Cole Croson is coaching first, so the other guys are hanging out in the dugout. Runners not going. Took a little running secondary and a walk pitch to Jake Onderlin. Tosses away my favorite bat, heads down to first. Didn't have to use it that time. Mention the congratulations to Maddox Stahl and Austin Reese and Jansen Roberts. Also Louis De La Cueva. All part of the All-Star selections for the Front Range League. Good game in Gehring on Tuesday night after the Monday night home run derby. Ball one to Scott Thompson. The pitcher is hitting for himself in this game. Scott, the righty arm, lefty bat. number 9 spot in the order. Greeley Gray's represented, of course, also in the All-Star Spectacular in Gearing. 2-0 pitch. Roller to first. Reese thought about going to 2. He'll retrack, and he gets to first base in time to put out Scott Thompson on a ground ball, unassisted to first, and that's 2 down. Runners along now to second and third. Gray's a chance to tie it up, take the lead with 2 in scoring position, down 1-0. And it's the top of the order. Brogan Barr popped out to second base first time up. Strike 1 to top of the order, Brogan Barr. Brogan from Eaton, Colorado, Baseball Town, USA. McCook CC in Kansas. Brogan sees this pitch. Off speed that got his bat to also decelerate. Shortstop's calling this off over at second base. Smile on the face of the Miracles second baseman, Jeremiah Lucero. You know, shortstop has priority on the infield, has that sideways angle. Lucero is still just a big smile as he comes off, as the shortstop caught that right in his, basically his footprints for second base defense, Jackson Schlepper. And again, you know, that's you're taught, man, if you can go get it, shortstop, get it. And sometimes the angle coming across, not sometimes, pretty much always, the angle coming across is easier to read on depth than a ball right above a guy. Jackson Schlepper played that out to the ultimate. Makes the catch, closes the top of 2. For the Greeley Grays and the All-Star Spectacular, Peter Torbicki and Zach Kostopoulos, congratulations on the selections. And those two were busy, had full calendars while they were in Gearing, Nebraska. Zach Kostopoulos competed in the Home Run Derby on Monday night. One player from each of the 8 Front Range League teams swatted baseballs in the Home Run Derby, with Nick Bertucci of the Fort Collins Foxes defeating Blake Young of Diamond Club in the final round. And Zach Kostopoulos part of the Home Run Derby, so he did that and played in the game. And then for Peter Torbicki, plays in the game, and he came up to the booth and did a mid-inning interview and / conversation with me in the booth, as I was trying to get a variety of representatives from different teams through there. Thanks to Peter Torbicki. He is a reserve. He's not in the starting lineup tonight for the Grays. He was in the lineup last night in Fort Collins as the center fielder, Torbicki, after the busy, that was the day after all the All-Star activity, so busy week for these guys, and the roadie to Colorado Springs right now. Bottom of 2, Bryson Martinez. His first plate appearance of the game. Number 7 batter wears jersey number 7. Here comes Scott Thompson's first offering of the second inning, and it's a ball high. That didn't miss by much as it bent down toward the zone. Looks like a big cargo plane descending out over center field. Thompson has a 1-1 count against the leadoff batter, Bryson Martinez. Yes, he did on the offer, and it's 1-2. The forlorn, lonely Jeremiah Lucero is on deck, the second baseman for the Miracles, who had a ball poached out of the sky right over his head by his shortstop, Jackson Schlepper. Jeremiah is on deck. And an upstairs pitch gets Martinez to chase, strikeout. First of the game for Scott Thompson, who goes with high cheese and gets the swing. For Thompson in the first inning on the mound, he got a double play ground ball 4-6-3 against the number 2 batter Jackson Schlepper. The other out was a pop out in foul territory to the first base side, all the way over by the netting on the far side. Bunt shown and no offer. Jeremiah Lucero kept the bat out for a long time. He ran through that pitch as he decided to lay off of it. He was kind of looking like a push bunt for a righty, and he did pull the bat back. You can, of course, run through that, do whatever you want to do. If the bat doesn't make the effort to bunt, now he takes ball 2. Nicholas Brainerd on deck. It's an inside pitch that he liked and swung and missed Lucero. Jeremiah has good plate presence as a batter. He did what a good handful of players in the Front Range League do. As he came into the box, he tapped Jake Onderlund on the shin guards, greeting the catcher. A little sign of respect to the guys who get back there and grind it out behind the plate. Good pitch. Strike to Lucero. 2-2. Gets in and he does kind of the hop dirt manicuring with the feet, kind of hops from front to back to front in the box, doing a little bit of foot raking to get his dirt lined up how he wants it. Here he goes on a 2-2 swing and a miss, and Scott Thompson goes back-to-back Ks, both swinging for Martinez and Lucero. Nicholas Brainerd DHs, and he bats 9th. First time he's coming to the plate. Hunter Morgan is the top of the order. He walked his first time. He's on deck. Morgan hoping to hit here in the bottom of 2. Going to need Nicholas Brainerd to keep it alive. Fouls back the first pitch, 0-1. Thompson delivers, and he gets a jam shot pop. First baseman was going to steal that from the second baseman. What's up with the second baseman getting locked out? But then Deegan Corrigan bears away. He made again, great job. That's what Corrigan as a first baseman should do. Go attack that ball on the front side of the infield. That's a first baseman's option. When it's behind the first baseman's head, over his head and deeper, his job is often to yield to the second baseman. But Corrigan there steps back, and Cole Crosant, easy pop out, and 3 away. 2 innings booked. Each team got nothing in the second after the Miracles took the lead in the first. It's 1-0 to the top of the third. Top of the third frame for the Greeley Grays. Trying to find their first run of the game. Get a ball popped to center. Had a little more going for it at the end, and the Miracle center fielder Hunter Morgan accelerates a few more steps underneath that ball from Cole Croson. He walked in the first. He just flew out to center. One away. Croson struck it pretty well. And out he goes. Ren Sato, third batter in the order. Sato leans away from an elevated pitch. Sato popped out to center field his first at-bat, and that was a highlight reel catch by Hunter Morgan. Now Sato watches the pitch down from Sean Eierman. As I've been on the campaign trail all season in the Front Range League, 2-0 pitch is bounced a couple times to third base. Little hop step and a throw and out. Jansen Roberts makes the play at third base. Love when pitchers work with pace, keep the defense hopping, keep the wheels moving on a ball game, and getting in the zone, obviously a priority for Sean Eierman. He's got 2 outs here in the top of the third. Nine batters, of course, would be the minimum you could face through 3 for Eierman. He's on his 13th batter, so not bad, not too far over the minimum for a fairly efficient effort for the Miracles. Sean walked 2 guys in the first inning, walked 1 last inning. Hope I didn't get into the jinx territory here. Deegan Corrigan did walk in the first. He's batting now with a 1-1 count. Stays off of that pitch that's out of the zone. Yeah, Louis De La Cueva, he goes to his knees and just kind of flings the ball back out there, just gets it out of his glove and kind of flips it high, arcing toss. And Eierman, last couple times, started to get ready to leap and then realizes that Louis is kind of throwing a deceleration ball out to him that's just got some little air underneath it. Corrigan works into a 3-1 count. And Corrigan walks for the second time. The big man cleanup batter hasn't had a chance to clean anything up because he hasn't had pitches to hit. Last night in Fort Collins, Deegan Corrigan started off the game with a double in the first, 2 ribbies. In the third, he hit a 2-run home run for 4 RBI in the game. Finished with a strikeout and a walk, but Deegan was 2 for 3 against the Foxes last night with a double, a home run, and 4 RBI. Also scored the 1 run on his blast out of City Park in Fort Collins. Strike called to start the count with Mike Mignonia. 2 down and runner on 1. Roller through the left side. Both left side defenders dive. Jansen Roberts lays out from third. Shortstop Jackson Schlepper dominoed down with him behind Roberts, and that ball scurries out onto the outfield grass in left field. 2 aboard with 2 outs. Clean base hit for Mike Mignonia. He split the wickets at short and third. Caleb Kasari singled his first time up. He led off the second with a single and stole a base. That was last inning, so the Grays starting to spin the turnstiles now. One 1-0 pitch. Kasari stays off. All right, join in with me now. Eyeball the 2 walk-up lanes to the home plate circle. It looks like there's been a lot more traffic on the third base side for the Grays. Look at that. If you look at those 2 dirt paths to the mound, it looks like they've rolled that thing over a couple times, rototilling it with their feet in there. Kasari, that is skied above the infield. And called for and caught by the first baseman for the Miracles, Austin Reese. The Miracles will try to churn up more of their dirt on the walk-up path from the first base side as they go back to bat from the top of the order with Hunter Morgan, Jackson Schlepper, and Austin Reese. And even though they've had a little less traffic, the Grays in the game now after that pop-up and third out. Of course, they've batted an extra half frame, but the Grays have sent 15 batters to the plate, while the Miracles have sent 9. Miracles lead 1-0. Here comes Scott Thompson back on the bump for the Greeley Grays, his third frame of work as the starter against Hunter Morgan. Hunter walked his first time. He'll get a strike here to start the count. Greeley Grays last night started Lincoln Lyons, who was pretty good on the hill through 3. In the 4th, the Foxes got to him. Fort Collins, really it was the 5th, I guess they got to him. I think that was when Lyons finally had to wind down the start. Gave up 3 runs through the first 4 innings to the Foxes. The Foxes got 5 in the 5th, then scored 10 in the 6th to run Rule out of there last night at City Park and let the postgame meal begin. 1-2 count from Thompson here to Hunter Morgan with Jackson Schlepper on deck. Thompson spins out of the finish of that pitch and winds up with his back to the plate as it hit the glove of his catcher, Jake Onderland. I think he knew he missed it, so he didn't anticipate a ball being hit at him. Ended up facing out towards center field, the pitcher, as the ball popped the glove. Chopper, going to have to hurry here. Good runner on. Shortstop, Ren Sato. Oh, safe is the call, and I think it's the right one. Sato had to wait on the hop, had a pretty quick exchange on it, but the speed of Hunter Morgan yields him an infield hit as he chops one to short. The Lincoln Lions, a good start last night. Got a good chunk of innings covered for the Grays before the Foxes got their wheels going, and as they've been doing all year, just blowing runs on the board. They had that streak of, 15 consecutive games, the Foxes in double digits, scoring. 2 of those happened here in Colorado Springs at Blocktickets Park. There's a strike to Jackson Schlepper with Austin Reese on deck. And now tonight it's Scott Thompson who's trying to get a third frame covered for the Grays. got some good arms, but as they've told me, the Grays themselves, they don't have massive depth. They've had a few injuries on the pitching side. A couple of guys they figured were going to be go-to arms for them have not been able to go with it. So guys like Thompson and Lyons. Daniel Hodak had from the games I've tracked, I know at least one really good start for the Grays. Lost Gannon McGeen with an arm problem. Runner's taken off from first. There's a swing and a strike. That is a strikeout and a stolen base for Hunter Morgan. Down goes Schlepper. Morgan takes two on a steal. Austin Reese. Jansen Roberts next, lefty. You got the righty Reese against the righty Scott Thompson, and then the lefty Jansen Roberts preparing to bat. Not only is the left field bullpen not active for the Greeley Grays, you see one white shirt sitting down there, I think, napping. If you look at the very left of your screen, just below the foul pole, out beyond the roof of the dugout, on the left side of your screen, third base side, that ball's hit into left field. Down it comes. Runner's going to hold at third. Throw is aired. That thing hits the backstop, the low pad on the fly. Thompson tries to flip to the plate, and a little bit of snowball fighting breaks out for the Grays. The single is clean for Austin Reese. He'll take second on the slop. And Hunter Morgan was being held at third by assistant coach Marcus Gilmore. The throw was a skyrocket from left field that made it to the base of the backstop on the fly, hit the padding just below the net. And Hunter Morgan restarted the engines, came home. Reese went to second on that. There's an E7 involved after the single. Second hit of the inning for the Miracles. Jansen Roberts starts the hands and hips and then shuts it down, takes a ball. And he lashes one into a right field. Runner's going to come around. Here's the throw. Corrigan cuts it. He'll send it to the plate behind the hit for slide of Austin Reese. And Jansen Roberts delivers Reese from second base. RBI for Roberts. His second RBI of the game. Only two ribbies in the game for the Miracles. The previous run in this inning was not an RBI, scoring on the throw, the error on the throw. Now Jansen Roberts twice to the plate, two singles and two RBI. First pitch, hacking. Maddox Stahl swings and misses. So not only is the bullpen for the Grays not active, it looks like the potential napper down the line sitting on a chair, just barely see the top of the white shirt and the head. Steal try here for Roberts. Head first in he goes, safely into second base. Roberts holds the bag nicely on the slide finish, as his inertia almost pushed him right through the bag, but he clings on. Long look by the field umpire to make sure he didn't detach himself from it. One strike to Maddox Stahl. 1-1 count. Not only is that Grays bullpen not active, the tarp is covering half of the mound. It's almost not even open for business. Maybe they're trying to be efficient. They've got one lane of it open, and they don't want to have to do too much tarp management tonight. Crumpled up tarp piled up on half of the bullpen mound down the left field side. Complete solitude. A deserted bullpen down the right field side for the Miracles. Nothing happening down there. Thompson's pitch, fouled back. It'll go up to the second level to the VIP suites above our press box at Blocktickets Park. This is it's a 4-room press box. You got the operations staff on the scoreboard and the music, couple rooms down in the big room, the press box, the actual kind of press seating area with a couple rows for reporters and writers and whatnot. Strikeout pitch. Maddox Stahl slow walks away after a strikeout looking and 2 out. 2 runs in the frame for the Miracles. Got the home press box next to me. It's between me and the main press area and the scoreboard and now the scoreboard and kind of operations area. I'm set up pretty well behind home plate. Got another 2 rooms off to the first base side of where I'm at. This place is. I wonder if they let people live here. Or if they'd notice if somebody lived here. Either way. 1-0 count. Thompson's pitch. Luis de la Cueva lets it go for 2-0. Onderlin scooted out, contained it, and now we got a reflash of the fingers. That's a 1-1 count. The scoreboard has 2-0. So 2 rooms down from you over there. Hey, wake it up. Let's go. Come on now, lock in. It's a 1-1 count from Thompson. De La Cueva launches that up and over the press box and suite seating above us. The suites up top, they've got the indoor suite and then the front seating, kind of porch or balcony style. This place has got it. Could use a fresh coat of paint, but good bones, as they say on HGTV or wherever you hear that. De La Cueva pops this out over, or not over second base, shallow of second base on the infield. Cole Croson accelerates, catches it, flips it to Thompson, who spikes it down. The pitcher slams down the ball freshly caught by Cole Croson, and the pop-out ends the 3rd inning. 2 runs in for the Miracles. 3 innings completed, and it's a 3-0 tally for the home team, the El Paso County Baseball Miracles, on top of the Grays. In the top of the 4th, it's the 7-8-9 Verdugo, Onderlin, and Thompson scheduled up for Greeley.
River Morgan presents famous baseball quotes.
Hey, Dad,
Rally
what I do when there's no baseball. I'll tell you what I do.
Off the streets.
I stare out the window.
There's no
crying in baseball.
All yard baseball. All yard baseball.
Alejandro Verdugo, number 7 spot in the order. The number 7 defender, also left fielder. Baseball 101, I know 99.9999% of you know. Left field in the scorebook for coding purposes is labeled as position number 7. Pitcher is number 1. Catcher is number 2. First baseman is 3. Second baseman is 4. Third baseman is 5. So you skip across the diamond. Then shortstop is 6 in the numerical labeling of defenders. Center fielder is 8 out in the middle out there. So left field at 7 and right fielder at 9. Three-ball count from Ironman, and he will yield a 4-pitch walk to Alejandro Verdugo. Grays looking to get on the board, have the right trend. Second time in 4 innings they've put their leadoff batter aboard. In the first inning, Brogan Barr popped out to lead it off. Second inning, Caleb Kasari singled, leading off the second. Third inning, Cole Crosant flew out to center. And now in the fourth, Alejandro Verdugo walks to put the leadoff man on first base. There's that inside part of the plate. Nice spot. Verdugo back in on a pick throw. Airplane buzzes us here at Blocktickets Park heading to the airport. Engines revving above us. Ball revved out to right, spinning the right fielder around, and the catch made. A full pirouette by Maddox Stahl in right field, running toward the track. Didn't make it to the track. Onderland hit that pretty well. It's a fly out to right, and for Maddox Stahl, he broke open to his throwing hand side. He's a right-hand thrower, so he breaks open to the right center gap side of his right field position, takes some steps back and does a full spin, turns and catches it kind of on the armpit area of his glove hand side. That's a tough pitch to throw on for De La Cueva, who almost got the job done. That pitch was way out there. It bounced loose out of the glove of Jackson Schlepper, but I've seen Louis do that a few times this year on pitches that when you receive, you're watching him receive that, you think, yeah, just eat that. That's not something you can work with. And Louis finds a way to fling stuff out there and put it in play and give his defenders a chance to make a play. That one, they can't quite take down the stealing Verdugo. He's got second. Strike pitch. Scott Thompson, starting pitcher and number 9 batter, has a 1-1 count. Grays would love to open the scoring ledger in the fourth. I know with the lighting now and the sun out of the mix a little bit, the scoreboard imaging is hard to see, so I missed my moment. You could see it earlier, but if you noticed it, 2 of the sweetest logos in the Front Range League are up on the big scoreboard out in left center. De La Cueva got a bite taken out of him on that foul tip from Thompson, who's in a 2-2 count. Top of the order coming with Brogan Barr on deck. Miracles do now have bullpen activity. Grays do not. Thompson watches a wide one to a full count, 3-2. I think it might be Nick Marburger catching in the pen for the Miracles, and haven't seen yet for sure who's down there. Thompson's going to flare that back right toward the folks keeping the scoreboard. Oh, just missed him. 2 doors down from me. Hit right in front of their window. I stole some binoculars up here in the booth, looking through some completely hot, lifted, illegal binoculars, and yeah, I still can't tell who's down there. I would say maybe Jacob Watley. Nope, I see Jacob in the dugout. Runner goes to third, throws, slap tag down is late, and a good jump by Verdugo. He takes third, and a walk pitch to Scott Thompson. We'll see if they want a courtesy run. I don't think we've been courtesy run for pitchers. Have been doing it for catchers. 2 walks in the inning here for Ironman. Let me update your outs. I had a big nada. That was a big fail. There's 1 down. So first and third now. Sean Ironman pitching with a 3-0 lead for the Miracles. And here comes a mound visit now from the Miracles head coach. John Byington will walk to the mound. Those 2 logos I was talking about on the big scoreboard screen in left center field, I know you can't see them the way I wish you could right now, but the Greeley Grays have a kind of an interpretive scripted G. It's a pretty cool looking G, just a solitary symbol, image, letter, but it's barely a letter, but clearly a G for the Grays. So John Byington leaves his pitcher out there, but he gives the signal down to the bullpen, hey, speed it up, heat it up, microwave, let's go, get that arm ready. Trying to work a little quicker down there. Might need to get Ironman replaced. Sean probably said, I've got a little something left, but I'm about out. See if I can get through a hitter here for you. Brogan Barr is going to try to make this pay off for the Grays. Runner takes off from first. De La Cueva back picks to 3, and it's off the bag to the shortstop side. Roberts gloves it. Jansen keeps it from going into left field. Runners are at second and third now for Brogan Barr. Brogan flips that over shortstop. Jackson Schlepper, easy play at short. Good out there, 2 down. Miracles trying to keep the 0 on the board. The Grays logo, just cool, classic. Gray outlined in a deep blue. They are in their 100th year as a program, the Collegiate Greeley Grays. Ironman's pitch is a strike to Cole Crosant. Cole now tasked with finding 1, perhaps 2 runs here with 2 outs. Trying to not strand more guys. They've stranded runners in every inning, the Grays. De La Cueva buries that ball at the plate. Miracles logo, which you can see a little better on your screen. Can't see the vividness of it. You can see them on our Front Range Baseball Network channel. YouTube, it's at Front Range Baseball Network, where you are now. If you look at the thumbnails for the games, logos are typically on there, and the Grays G is awesome. And that Miracles, it's a baseball background with, I don't know, I guess those are navy blue seams, deep blue seams. And then the red of the Miracles with the halo atop the M, the word Miracles in red with the halo in yellow and the M in red. Ball below there established, I think it says 2023. I can't see that font's small, but this pitch, De La Cueva has it pop straight up. It lands in fair territory right on the first base line, maybe 8 to 10 feet from home plate, but it bounced high, and Verdugo read it right. He comes to the plate, and the Grays have a run. So Greeley gets on the board, and they get Scott Thompson to third base. Now Crosant can get this down to a 1-run deficit for Greeley. 3-1 pitch, and that's up, and we may see the pitching change now as Crosant takes a pass to go first and third. Bullpen still got a little something going down there for the Miracles. John Byington looking down, lifting the cap down to third base. That's the signal to the pen asking, are you ready? Supposed to raise their hat if the answer is affirmative, and I don't even know if anybody saw it down there. I think John Byington is ready to make the change. Again, Gray's bullpen empty, so the runner at third base, Scott Thompson, appears like he'll go back up for a fifth inning. Ren Sato, runner takes off. De La Cueva has to block and smother. And Cole Crosant has second base. All right, so let's get this out, okay? I've talked about when you strike out three guys in an inning, it's only striking out the side if you just get 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts. End of conversation. You're not striking out the side if more than 3 guys come up because the side was more than 3 guys. Now, if you struck out 6 guys in the inning and all 6 came to the plate, all 6 were strikeouts, they reached on wild pitch passed ball, dropped third strikes, then we could have a conversation perhaps. But also another big one in the baseball 101 world, swing and a miss for Sato. He's got 2 balls and 1 strike with runners at second and third and 2 outs. When a catcher reaches down with a glove and picks a ball, 2-2 the count here to Sato. He picks one. He reaches over and picks one. He snags one. He makes like a first baseman kind of scoop or pick or dig. 2-2 pitch. Sato through the left side. Grays have another run. Do they have 2? Around comes Crosant. Throw coming. Cole to the plate. Game is tied for the Greeley Grays. Ren Sato, 2 out. Single through the left side, and the Grays get Crosant to the plate from second, trailing Scott Thompson. 3 in the frame. Game is tied, and the pitching change coming now for the El Paso County Baseball Miracles. Grays with a 3-run frame. Little slap on the backside from John Byington, appreciating the work of Sean Eierman, who put in a good effort tonight for the Miracles. 3 2/3 in the books, pitching deep in the 4th inning. Teammates come out to greet him back at the steps of the first base dugout. Enjoyed watching Sean pitch tonight. He's unable to get out of that 4th frame that now has 3 walks in it, and that was the first hit of the inning from Ren Sato, tying the game at 3 apiece. So when a catcher picks digs, glove stuff, I often hear, and admittedly, it's in the youth baseball ranks, hey, great block. That is not a block. Not a block. Blocking is your gear. You're down, you drop and block, you close the 5-hole, you stick the chest protector, you give up the glove and just put it down with the other hand to create a big wall. That's blocking. But glove picks and backhand digs and scoops and glove work stuff, while sometimes impressive, that's fine. It doesn't mean it wasn't cool. It's not really fundamentally usually the right way to go, although now and then you need it as a catcher. But great block on a kid who had no interest in putting the gear in front of a pitch in the dirt. That ain't blocking, bro. Pitching change for the Miracles is now installed. A little rain falling all of a sudden. You can hear the metal roofing of different little structures here starting to hum. And with a beautiful sky above us, you can see the dappled. Can I go with dappled clouds? And the color scheming of the clouds. Ooh. Rain kind of came out of nowhere. Deegan Corrigan, 2 walks in the game. And a hit by pitch. Ouch. That one got down onto lower extremities. It might hurt a little more than upper extremities on a hit by pitch. First and second now, the runners. Miracles on the pitching change. Looks like it's Connor Cholez, number 26, was an addition to the roster from the roster I was given prior to the season. Connor Cholez has a hit by pitch, and he'll try to do differently here with Mike Mignonia, 8th batter of the inning for the Greeley Grays. Grays stranded 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 6 runners left on base through 3 innings. Ouch. But they cash in for some action here. De La Cueva gets back to the screen and watches that bang into one of the nice, comfy, classy green chairback seats, flip-down seating, chair-backed with arms and cup holders and the whole bit. Ball bounces through the chair. 1-1 count. And the strike makes it 1-2. Cholez hits the zone. Prepares for this 1-2 offering. Gets a swing. Runner can go with 2 outs. First base was occupied, but with 2 outs, game on. And the throw down gets Mike Mignonia, who strikes out, put away on a drop third throw out from Louis De La Cueva. Not dropped, that was just blocked up. Good pitch. Well executed. De La Cueva does his part from the catching position. And the strikeout gets the third out, but the 3 runs make it a field goal apiece. 3-3. Bottom of the 4th. Good game with the Grays and Miracles dueling it out at Blocktickets Park in Colorado Springs on the Front Range Baseball Network.
That Cup Shot is brought to you by Down Under Armour. Protecting the jewels for over 45 years, Down Under Armour is manufactured using military-grade metals and impact tested at shooting ranges, bowling alleys, and martial arts studios. That Cup Shot brought to you by Down Under Armour.
Scott Thompson to the bottom of 4. And it's ball 1 in the dirt. Catcher change for the Greeley Grays. Looks like Brennan Taylor, I believe, has stepped in for Jake Onderlind. Swing and nothing for first batter of the 4th inning, Bryson Martinez. He's batted twice. It's the second time he's leading off a frame. This in the 4th. In the 2nd inning, he led off. In that inning, Thompson got a strikeout, pop out, 3 up, 3 down. He's going to get a pop up to first base. Deegan Corrigan looking to the heavens. He'll catch that. Deegan, when he looks to the heavens, sees him a little better. He's a little closer to the heavens than most of the rest of us at 6 feet 5 inches tall. And in spirit, too. I think Deegan probably is closer to heaven as a guy. Pop out is 1 away. Jeremiah Lucero. Thompson rocks and sends it and gets a swing and an empty hack for Lucero. 8th spot in the order. Nicholas Brainerd on deck. Strike there makes it 1-2. Scott Thompson pumping it. Grays get 3 runs on 1 hit in the 4th frame. The walk pitch helping them out. That ball is hit hard towards center, running and diving. Try, won't get it. Ball's going to get loose. It'll be 2 bags here. Good effort in center field. Not able to get that glove. Got a little piece of the leather, it looked like. Lucero has a double on a layout effort with 1 away in center field. Brogan Barr, the center fielder, gave it the all right there and almost came up with a diving backhand side play. Similar location to where Hunter Morgan, the opposite center fielder, made his catch. This ball just now was a little more on a line. Lucero doubles with 1 away. By my scorebook, the Grays have now 3 runs on 3 hits. And once again, they stranded 2. They've stranded 2 runners in every inning tonight. 8 left on base through 4 innings. It's been 2 every time. 1-0 pitch is a 1-1 count. Strike called. Miracles. Nicholas Brainerd watched on the outside and had it called a strike. Brainerd had the hand started, laid off the outside pitch. That one clipped the outer edge of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brainerd popped out to second in the 2nd frame. Bats in the 4th now. On a 1-2, he lobs that to center, and coming across, left fielder was there, and it ticks off the glove and falls to the turf in the outfield. Again, that's the good angle play. That's the right play with the center fielder trying to read that ball. And again, a side defender with the side view of that can really tell depth better, especially in this late evening sky with light dwindling and the lights trying to become the dominant source of illumination. It's a good play from left fielder Alejandro Verdugo. He got there and got the glove on it. You know, official score, it's probably an E7. He did everything that was correct, was the right play defensively, and went a long way for that ball. Covered some serious ground, did Verdugo. I'm sure he's frustrated out in left field right now. I got all the way there, and it just ticks off his glove on the run and settles on the outfield grass. Runner, of course, didn't move up. Jeremiah Lucero, that pop-up was kind of right out behind him, not too far from second base, where Verdugo, who obviously has some speed, covered a bunch of ground. Foul ball's out of play behind home plate. Scott Thompson, the 1-1 pitch. 2-1. Brennan Taylor in a skirmish with that ball behind the plate. Good work from Taylor holding the runners. The Greeley Grays just got into a tie. Trying to hold that position at 3-3. Again, Taylor good down in the dirt. Those are blocks. When I whined a moment ago about people calling glove picks blocks, which is erroneous, that's blocking right there from Brendan Taylor twice consecutively, keeping the force on. It's a 3-1 count. Hunter Morgan at the top of the order picks up a free base. Ball 4. Loaded up now. Jackson Schlepper. Shortstop bats number 2. He's 0 for 2 in the game. Schlepper ready to do some damage here with the bases full for the Miracles. Foul ball clangs down into the bleachers, grandstands. With Austin Reese on deck, a walk and a single, and Reese has been prolific offensively. Miracles are in a great spot here. Thompson trying to work something out, gets a strike called. Working up in the zone. Thompson would love a one hopper right back to him for a 1-2-3 inning ender. And bases loaded escape hatch. 1-2 pitch. That's to right field. Running and short arming that, not making the catch. This is going to be a bunch of bags. Schlepper's around second. Ball's in the corner in right. Schlepper's going to hold at third. He clears them off. And the Grays outfield defense has let them down in this bottom of the 4th. Tough ball. Made the run over to the line. The ball was going to get down fair. Made the long run, did Mike Magnolia. And Michael gets there and then just kind of short-armed the receive of the ball. And he's got his glove up over his mouth, probably venting off, exhausting a few thoughts on that finish to the play that ends up with 3 runs scoring for the Miracles, and Jackson Schlepper taking third base. Scott Thompson working deep here, and a little help for the starting pitcher who's grinding his way through this, was trying to get through the fourth. We'll see if he can get all the way. The bullpen still is not happening for the Greeley Grays. Thompson going to keep pulling the wagon here. Gets one by Austin Reese. Two one the count, showing on the scoreboard. Thompson's pitch is down. It's 3-1. Got the inside part of the zone, 3-2. Thompson stays with it. Slap that over to first. Runner doesn't take off on it, and that'll be a benefit to the Grays as Reese chops out on an emergency hack, chops one to first base to Corrigan, who absorbs it. Nice job bodying that ball by Deegan, not letting that get down the line. And Schlepper did not take off. He might have had the read that it was hit too hard and it was going to be a quick grab, stomp, and then a potential throw out. That's understandable on that play. I don't know that Jackson could have made it. It's the old deal either in your mind or from a coaching perspective. If you put on the contact play with a runner at third, meaning anything hit, go and see what you get. Ball to left is pretty well hit by Jansen Roberts, and there the outfield defense gets the job done right in front of the big scoreboard in left center field, the big video board or image board. That's a video board. They just don't do videos at these games. That's a nice catch out in left center from Alejandro Verdugo, who redeems the outfield a little bit in the frame. 3 runs on the swing down the right field line from Jackson Schlepper. And the Miracles, who had just been tied up at 3-3, they jump back out 6-3. Top of the fifth with Caleb Casari, Alejandro Verdugo. Jake Onderlin's spot should be Brennan Taylor in that spot, batting third in the top of 5. Grays will need to get right back to work. Greeley erased the deficit and then had their 3-spot matched in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch from Connor Choles is a strike. Action on the Front Range Baseball Network tonight. Boulder 64 is hosting NOCO Prospectors at Scott Carpenter Park on the Front Range Baseball Network. Our game here at Blocktickets Park in Colorado Springs. Leadoff knock. Caleb Kasari has done that twice, leading off innings with singles, and Kasari gets to work on the Grays trying to respond again. Good swing from Caleb, went the other way with it. Lefty shot that to left field. Alejandro Verdugo made a good catch on the move out in front of the video board in left center to close last defense for the Grays. He'll try to build on that momentum of a positive play, and the left fielder, he's 0 for 1 today. Strikeout and a walk, stole a base, scored a run last inning. 8 batters came up last inning for the Grays. And again, they stranded 2 more, so they've stranded 8 guys through 4 innings with 2 every inning left on base. For the Miracles, they stranded 2 in the first, 1 in the third, and just stranded 1 in the fourth. They've got half the number of the Grays. This pop to shallow right, some acceleration, and going to fire a throw behind the runner, safely back to 1. Goes Kasari. Miracles right fielder Maddox Stahl closes, covers a good amount of ground coming in toward the infield, makes the catch. That'll bring the replacement sub in, Brennan Taylor. Jake Onderland started in the number 8 spot in the order. He wears number 19, 1-9. Just erase his first digit, and now it's number 9 in the box in the number 8 spot in the order. Swing for Taylor is empty for a strike. Choles slings that one wide of the zone. A low arm slot delivery to the third base side, and that pitch glides wide across the left side batter's box, moving third base side to first base side. 1-1 the count. There's De La Cueva blocking again. Louie's a block master. I've watched him catch a lot. That guy just devours dirt balls. Popped foul, out of play for Taylor. He's got 2 strikes against him. 2-ball, 2-strike count. 9-inning ball game tonight. Miracles hosting, leading by 3. They did not score in the second. Otherwise, they've scored in each of the frames tonight. 1 in the first, 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth. Off goes the runner. This ball is hit hard, and that's going to be a long way to center field. Reaching, catch, no. Down is the ball. Triple going to be booked here, and a run in front of him. Brennan Taylor fights out an AB on a 2-2 pitch. He demolishes one. Straightaway center is 410 at Blocktickets Park. The left center gap is 385. That ball out to the deepest part of the park was just a little ways in front of the track. Down in front of the blue advertising sign that's just on your center field side, well, everybody's center field side of the video board. That was a shot from Brennan Taylor, who gets a run back. And with one out, represents the get back within one run. I think we might. I looked away to update my scorecard. Let's see if that's still Taylor running at third base, the catcher. Obviously, yeah, he is down there running. Moves well. Tripled on that. First at bat of the game for Brennan Taylor. RBI triple. Grays getting the offense started here after going scoreless in the first 3 frames. Sean Eierman doing good work. There's a strikeout pitch to Scott Thompson. Down goes Thompson looking. 2 out. Need a 2-out ribby out of their top of the order, Brogan Barr. FrontRangeLeague.com, where you can find schedules and standings and all things Front Range League. It's FrontRangeLeague.com. Standings are hosted through FrontRangeLeague.com by Fort Collins Baseball Club. There is the 2-out RBI. Brogan Barr doesn't waste any time. First pitch, just a nice controlled swing, drives that the other way through the left side. RBI single for Brogan Barr. 2 runs in for the Grays. First hit of the game for Brogan. Good time for it. Scoring Brennan Taylor. And this ball, the center is in front of the center field defender. Cole Croson's ball sails shallow to Hunter Morgan. And it's a 2-run response back by the Greeley Grays. 2 runs on 3 hits in that inning. 6 hits in the game for the Grays now by my scorebook tally. And for the Miracles, who still hold the 1-run lead after their 3-run 4th inning, got them for their 6 runs on 6 hits. So each team with 6 hits in the game. Count is 6 for the Miracles and 5 for the Grays. Bottom of the 5th, Maddox Stahl to lead off.
River Morgan presents famous baseball quotes.
You tell me right now, Jimmy Morris.
Progress
It's supposed to be
always
hard.
involved.
If it
Wasn't
wasn't
hard,
easy,
you
everyone
can't
would
steal
do
second
it.
base
The
and
hard
keep your foot
is what
on
makes
first.
it great. You want to have a catch, Smalls?
Low yard baseball. Low yard baseball.
Scott Thompson working here in the bottom of the fifth and the start for Scott. Audio chop up got it back and flowing, and Jeremiah Lucero with 2 out. Bryson Martinez on at first base. Light him up on 1 on your score bug. He's going to take off, and that's a ball for it. It was 3-2. Sorry. I looked at Brennan Taylor, the catcher. He got up to throw it. Nobody was covering the bag, and Martinez was just doing what you ought to do on a 3-2 2 out. He took off on the pitch, as you do. And the walk to Lucero has 2 aboard. Scott Thompson, credit to Scott, man. He is digging in here as he works in the fifth. Flags are blowing. You can see him out left field side of the screen. They're pushing across from left to right with some pace. Foul tip. Nicholas Brainerd has 1 strike. Thompson ready. Wind a factor here. Ooh, this shot over toward the first base dugout. Hangs up in the netting, protective netting behind the dugout. Shot over between the Miracles hanging out down there. On deck guy Hunter Morgan was in the pattern of that. Foul laser from Brainerd. 0-2 count. Inside pitch, jam shot, funky ball bounces around first base on the fair side. It kind of curled around the bag, stayed in fair territory, and it's played successfully at first. And is that Cole Croson who's gone to first? That might have been Cole who made the play on that, handling a weird side spin ball that'll wrap up the 5th inning on an unassisted step on first base. And 2 runners are left aboard. This time it's by the Miracles, who still hold the 1-run lead. They'd have liked to have added to it right there. Didn't get any. And it's the 6th inning of a 9-inning ball game. Ren Sato leads it off for the Greeley Grays. Scott Thompson, keep accolading Scott. The starter for the Grays is now through 5 innings. He's completed 5, and looking at the unofficial charting, but this has got to be pretty much on the money. 85 pitches for Scott. So that getting up there, but maybe not. I thought it might have been a little higher by now. 50 strikes and 35 balls for 85 pitches from Scott Thompson. 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 4 strikeouts, and 5 walks. And I don't see anybody in the bullpen for the Grays. So again, thinking Scott's in communication, obviously, with his head coach Tim Galindo and the coaching staff, and he's cruising along, letting it work here as we play into the 6th inning in Colorado Springs.
No matter where I go or where I roam, Long Bridge Road means we're almost home. Cliche Country, Sugar Lake's unicorn of radio. Wide open and in the saddle. Tough, gritty. We are servant leaders with exceptional bandwidth who give 110%. So open a can of worms and beat a dead horse. Get outside the box. 108.1 FM. Put a pin in it for a win-win situation. Sugar Lake's Cliche Country, 108.1 FM. It is what it is. You got this. Have a nice rest of your day. The blur of night, the whir of wheels, the interstate it reveals.
Something I've searched for, something was missing. Point A wasn't for me, always searching for point B. But Longbridge Road means we're almost home. Longbridge Road means we're almost home. No matter where I go.
Longbridge Road means we're almost home. To finish, I think the Vibes logo behind home plate might be a little more visible now on your camera shot than it was when the sunlight was working. The red, white, and blue striping with the stars on the V and the I of Vibes. At Blocktickets Park, the flag still pushing. Sturdy dose of wind and a ball to the left side. Roberts reaches out, gloves it, loads up and fires, and Jansen Roberts puts out Ren Sato. Ground ball opens the sixth. So the Boulder 64's NOCO Prospectors game in Boulder was a water out on a non-stormy, non-rainy day. Some kind of irrigation problem at Oregon Trail Park in Gehring, Nebraska. Knocked out the game. I'm told they'll play 2 tomorrow. 4 o'clock Mountain Time for Diamond Club and the Western Nebraska Pioneers. So they get knocked off of a fantastic field. That All-Star game was 2 nights ago there. Good thing it didn't happen that night. Everybody assembled, and they got to play that game. There's a walk, free pass. That was Deegan Corrigan's spot in the order, and he was pinch hit for. Caleb Tejada. Tejada entered the game defensively. I think Cole Croson moved over to first where Corrigan was. Maybe. We'll see it. Maybe it was Tejada over there. I couldn't. Grays are wearing, they've got good visible numbers on their backs, but from the front view, can't tell anything about numericals. Tejada on at first base. With 1 out. There's a dog in the booth to my first base side of my booth. All of a sudden, there's a dog over there. De La Cueva's throw is a good one. I think the Grays, I don't know if they had some kind of like hit and run or a bunt on or something, but Tejada went in standing up and then looked back to the plate like, hey, man, little help out here. Louis De La Cueva fires a caught stealing dart down to second base and clear the bags off, make it 2 away. Grays have pinch hitter Peter Torbicki in the box. Torbicki takes his walk now. As Peter gets his first plate appearance. Caleb Kasari will hold his spot, third baseman on defense. 2 for 3 in the game. He singled both times he led off an inning. He's not leading off here. He's batting with 2 outs and a man aboard. Tying run on the bases. See when Torbicki, I imagine he's going to go at some point here, try to get himself into scoring position to tie. The scoreboard up in the 6th. Down with that pitch. 2-0 count to Kasari. Alejandro Verdugo on deck. Kasari is going to take a pass. Third walk of the inning. Miracles righty Logan Wilson taking over for Connor Choles. Logan Wilson, number 29, the right-handed pitcher. Seen him a decent number of times this season. Enjoy watching Logan throw. He's struggling with the zone here. He got a ground ball to third base to the leadoff batter, Ren Sato, and then walk to sub in Caleb Tejada, walk, thrown out stealing. Sub in Peter Torbicki, walk. Caleb Kasari, walk. Verdugo now ducks one that was right at his dome. Ball 1 to Verdugo. Brennan Taylor due up next. He's got a triple in one trip to the plate tonight. And that was last inning. There's Louis De La Cueva blocking again. Now the zone has eluded Logan Wilson for now 4 consecutive batters, 3-0 count. Tough feeling for a pitcher when you just can't find it and he misses high and Logan's frustrated, reaches down, grabs some dirt, tosses that wind, blows that toward first base. John Byington heading out to the mound. Only thing you can do here, you're going to have to go figure something out. Just need one. They got the steal throw out. That could pay off big. And the Grays already with a solid bushel basket of runners left on base. 9 runners left aboard through 5 innings. Miracles would love to flip the trending here in this inning, get the walks stopped, and make it a dozen LOB left on base for the Grays. John Byington departs. The players stick around a little longer and talk it out. Miracles working on the escape to hang on to a 1-run lead. Wilson's pitch. That's going to go to the right side. Diving stop. Wilson covers and safe at first. Brennan Taylor beats the toss. The first baseman for the Miracles, Austin Reese, ranging to the second base side of his position. Logan Wilson covering, but down the line goes Taylor. Taylor hit the bag kind of funny and was a little gimpy on the back of that. He's going to get a courtesy runner. Looks like it's Michael Mignonia, and a run to the plate there ties the game on a ball in the infield that Brennan Taylor hustles for a single, picks up a ribby, and ties the score at 6-all. Nice hustle from Taylor. He's got a triple that he blasted, and now an infield ball that scores a run, 2 hits. Wilson solving the zone now as he gets a strike to Scott Thompson. Here's Scott, man. He's hitting tonight. He's thrown 5 innings. I think he's going to come back out, too. He's up into the 80s in pitch count. Fine. Big whippy righty. Probably handle another inning. Maybe get 2 out of him. I don't know. Depends how efficient he can be in the bottom of the 6th. Brogan Barr's spot is due up next, but he's going to yield, and pinch hitter Liam Conkling, first chance to hit for Conkling tonight. He's on deck. Thompson didn't miss by much there, and when you're in this spot with Logan in this inning trying to duel his way through it, every time you don't get one close, that frustration meter bounces on you. Thompson got a good swing, and he fouled it back. 2-ball, 2-strike count. De La Cueva reaches to hang on to that one around the plate. Full count now. Runners. Let's see. We got one out on the scoreboard. I don't think that's right. That can't be right. 2 down should be the number, so the runners would be going. Coach Tim Galindo at third base is signaling to his runners, hey, don't trust the board here. 2 down, and there they go. Thompson shoots that up and away foul. Some confusion on the diamond about the out count, and I think it's because the scoreboard has it different. Strike pitch. That'll close as they get back to a 6-6 tie. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Top of the order, Hunter Morgan, Jackson Schlepper, Austin Reese will be the Miracles batters. Strike one in for the Miracles, and the top of the order, Hunter Morgan. They'll try to jump back in the lead. We do have a pitching change that's fouled off the batter, off his foot. Grays do make the change. Scott Thompson gets 5 framed as the starter. Nice work by Scott. Alejandro Verdugo started in left field. Bends one wide of the zone. Verdugo now on for his first inning on the mound in a 6-6 score. Chopper towards short. Man, he can move. Morgan flying down the line. Hunter is out on a 6-3 pickup and throw. Good charge attacking and at shortstop for the Grays, Keegan Randall. And we'll see Keegan coming to the plate here soon. Nice play by Keegan. Hunter Morgan beat one of those out earlier for an infield single. Can't outrun that play by a check-in, sub-in shortstop, Keegan Randall. Swing and a miss. Jackson Schlepper. Bases clear. 1 out recorded. Schlepper working with that wind blowing hard from left to right. He's going to flare that foul off the net behind the plate. Verdugo's pitch is in the dirt. Diamond Club and Western Nebraska Pioneers going to go at it tomorrow for 2 games in Gearing, Nebraska. Just entered a final score on the standings chart for the Front Range League at frontrange.league.com. There's a single up the middle. Good swing from Jackson Schlepper with 1 out. Schlepper, solid swing. Single for Jackson in his 4th at-bat of the game. Ball 1 to Austin Reese. Pitch in from Verdugo is up above the zone. 2-0 count. Verdugo to the plate. Reese gets a good swing left field deep to the track. Reaching up, that ball's over the head in left. Wait a minute. No, it's not. Can't see out there, and I thought the reaction left field was to run and chase it down off the wall. That's a catch. What a play in left on the retreat. I think Scott Thompson went out there. Scott loads the bow and flings the arrow back to the infielders who are saluting him. I'm going to go with Scott for now, just based on look in left. What a play by Dude in left. The throw here on a steal. Taylor sails that over second base. Up and moving on is Schlepper. Throw coming to third. That'll be in safely at third base on a steal and an error advance. Schlepper gets around to third with 2 outs. Wow, what a play. I mean, still making sure I try to give plenty of credit. It is Scott Thompson in left. It was a heck of a catch for some misplayed outfield that we've seen in this game. That was a fantastic play. Running on the retreat toward the wall. That ball was torched by Austin Reese. Wind blowing across and reaching up, flagging it down. What a play. That could be big if the Miracles can leave the runner at 3. Verdugo trying to get Jansen Roberts. Strike to Roberts. 2-1 count. Right guy here, number 4 batter, Jansen Roberts. Dynamic offensive season in the Front Range League. He's got 2 hits tonight, 2 RBI. Can he make it another of each? Fouls it away. Standings updated, and the score from tonight has been added. Boulder 64s take out the NoCo Prospectors 11-1 in Boulder tonight at Scott Carpenter Park. 11-1 is the final tally. That score's been entered. Roberts, can he beat this deep ball at short? Nice throw across the pick and safe at 1. All right, so that is Caleb Tejada over at first base, updating the D, and it looks like Cole Croson is still at second. They both have reflective sunglasses on their heads. Now looking at it, you can see that Tejada's slightly larger frame than Cole Croson. Tejada made a pick on that, but Jansen Roberts hustles it out for another hit and RBI. 3 singles. Every one has pushed in 1 run. 3 ribbies for Jansen Roberts. Strike called. Now bending pitch, good from Verdugo. 0-2 count to Maddox Stahl. A lot going on in the booth with the Front Range Baseball Network flying around and various traffic happening up yonder. This ball down the right field line, that's got fair territory. That one hops the wall in right at 350. Stahl's going for 3 without hesitation. He'll have 3 bags as he stands up into third base and drives in Jansen Roberts. 2 out damage here from the Miracles. Maddox Stahl hammers a triple. Drives it to right and plates Roberts. And the back and forth salvos of this game continue. Answer here in the bottom of the 6th with 2 runs from the Miracles. Louis De La Cueva, hitless. He's put all 3 of his swings up in the air. Pop out to first, pop out to second, and a fly out to center. Louis' first inning pop out to first base was in foul territory. Two-0 count to De La Cueva. Pretty busy day in the Front Range League tomorrow. A 3-0 count now with the ball delivered. Verdugo trying to close this 2-run 6th. Miracles have a guy on third. After Stahl's triple, De La Cueva gets a strike for 3-1. Doubleheader set up for Gehring tomorrow with Diamond Club and the Pioneers now. So 2 games there. There's a walk pitch to De La Cueva, first and third. Probably a courtesy runner. We've seen Maverick Alcaria do that at times for the Miracles. We'll see Mav is looking over to the dugout, and it won't be him. It's going to be Mason Aaron running for Louis De La Cueva. Mason Aaron, courtesy runner, so expect him to be making an effort to get second base on this first and third situation. Brendan Taylor, the catcher, see where he goes with a potential steal try here from the Miracles. Doubleheader in Gehring tomorrow. Doubleheader scheduled also in Pueblo at Runyon Sports Complex. 1 p.m., 3 p.m.-ish, second game after the finish of the first one for the Foxes and Spradley Collegians. Runner does go. Brendan Taylor's throw is way wide of the bag. Mason Aaron gets up. Ball is literally booted in center field, and runner will freeze at third base. Liam Conkling in center was running in to back that play up, and it came off his leg and went flying. Another run home with Stahl scoring on the throwing error on a first and third steal. (9-6) the score, 2 out. I've got my bug updated. I can't tell. It's current on my screen. I'm trying to keep an eye on your stream screen, and I can't quite tell if it's matching up. But we do have 9-6 right here. Bryson Martinez batting. I started to whine about Martinez lobs this into the gap. Runner or the outfielders come diving across, and that ball gets down. Well, I'm glad they avoided each other. That was 2 guys laying out, and luckily they were on different axes, vertices, patterns there. They were not going straight at each other, and they both dove with Conkling sliding on the front side of that effort. Ball gets down, and another run home. Courtesy runner Mason Aaron scoring. It's a double for Bryson Martinez, dropping one in between center fielder and right fielder. And the Miracles have gotten big here in the 6th inning. Now, just narrowly missed a hit by pitch. Jeremiah Lucero ducks down. He tucks and dodges the beaning. This is the most runs scored in a single frame by either team tonight. 10-6 score on the board. There's a soft roller on the right side, pick up in a flip from Crosent to Tejada, and out goes Jeremiah Lucero for the third, but the Miracles, 8 batters came up. Schlepper scored, Roberts scored, Stahl scored, and De La Cueva scored. 4 guys. It was courtesy runner Mason Aaron for De La Cueva. The single, a triple, and a double. 4 hits in the inning, 4 runs. Miracles vault back on top, 10-6 now, going to the 7th inning of a scheduled 9-inning ball game in Colorado Springs. First trip to the plate for Liam Conkling. Played center field defensively last half. Conkling watches a wide pitch from Logan Wilson. 10-6, the home team leading. Miracles zeros in the 2nd and 5th inning offensively. Ball to Conkling. But outside of those zeros, they've gone in order 1, 2, 3, 4 in their scoring innings. 1 in the first, 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 4 in the 6th. Reaching double digits in the game. Mentioned tomorrow's slate doubleheaders in Pueblo and Gehring, Nebraska. Wilson's pitch, swing and a miss for Conkling. And the other game scheduled in action tomorrow will be here at Blocktickets Park. Greeley Grays and El Paso County Baseball Miracles. De La Cueva fights with that pitch down from Wilson. It's a 3-2 count on the board. 3-2 to Conkling. Liam trying to get things going for the Grays to make another comeback, and he will with a ball 4 from Wilson as he glides that wide of the zone to the first base side. Grays and Miracles scheduled for the same start time tomorrow night, 6:35 p.m. Looks like the Grays next in action at home on Tuesday, July 15, Western Nebraska Pioneers in Greeley for 2 games, 4 o'clock Mountain. The first game of a doubleheader, strike called there. 0-2 count. Cole Crosent has that buzz his headgear. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Grays have the DH on Tuesday with the Pioneers. Miracles on Monday hosting the Boulder 64s here at Blocktickets Park. Crosent scoops that, lifts it out to center field. Low pitch. He lifted up and sent out to Hunter Morgan. One away, caught in center field. Credit to Louis De La Cueva, the catcher. I know I talk about Louis a fair amount, but he earns it, deserves it. He reads that play, and like a catcher often, should always do in the right moments with the base runners where they ain't, on a bases clear ground ball in the infield, catcher should run down toward first base, kind of get an angle to a potential overthrow. Louis did that on that ball to center field, anticipating a potential throw back from center to first base. On a fly ball to center, Louis runs down and positions himself as a useful defender down the first base line. Pretty cool stuff from Louis De La Cueva. Keegan Randall batting in the spot that Ren Sato started in, number 3 in the order. Keegan, a good stick. He's in a good spot here trying to fuel a comeback. Runner takes off. Conkling had a huge jump. Bunt is right back to the pitcher. Conkling's going to go first to third on it, and he'll have it as Liam runs around first to third. He was stealing on the pitch, and Keegan Randall, the bunt, he just ended up putting that straight back to the pitcher. Maybe just taking his batting gloves off. I thought he might have wrung his hands a little bit there. A little zap. But the bunt, easy play for Logan Wilson. 2 out. Conkling around to third. Now Tejada puts one down the right field line. It's in fair. It's still in fair, and it's caught in right. Maddox Stahl moving toward the foul line. Has the catch, and it's nothing for the Grays in the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch from Blocktickets Park in Colorado Springs with the home team Miracles on a 10-6 lead. These two teams dueling it out, trying to pick up a W. They've had a hard time with those this year, playing some competitive ball games throughout the year, but looking for more dubs. And right now it's the Miracles with the upper hand as they will bat in the bottom of the 7th with their 9-1-2. Should be Brainerd, Morgan, and Schlepper after the 7th inning stretch. Bottom of 7, Verdugo bends a pitch for a long swing and a miss. Big extension, fooled on that breaking ball to open the count. Nicholas Brainerd has an 0-1 back in. Waves the bat in his pre-pitch, and jam shot saw off, foul, and falls down for strike 2. Nobody could get there. Everybody converging from catcher, pitcher first, Tejada, pitcher Verdugo, and the catcher Taylor all heading that way. Triangle forms, and the ball drops in the grass in front of the Miracles dugout on the first base side. 0-2. Hunter Morgan on deck. Top of the order. Verdugo eases one above the zone. He's throwing some good breaking balls been problematic for the Miracles. He's going to go with something straight there. That's a swinging strikeout, ball in the dirt, tag out at the plate by catcher Taylor, and good start for Verdugo on the mound. It's Hunter Morgan. 1 for 2 in the game. He's got on base, 2 walks and a single. First time he was put out was last inning in the 6th. He grounded out to short, but busted it down the line. Love the style of Hunter Morgan out of the leadoff spot. Runs it hard. Scored twice in the game. 2 of the Miracles' 10 runs. Back to short again. There goes Morgan down the line. Sling the throw and kept the foot on the bag. Got him. Keegan Randall has done that twice now. Keegan, a strong arm from shortstop, and he's fielding with good pace, knowing that he's got Morgan flying down the line. John Byington is going to ask about the pulled foot, if there might have been one. He's going to see if plate umpire might have seen anything different. For now, we'll put 2 outs on the scorebug on the board. The throw was to the outfield side, the foul line side, kind of straight down the line toward right. It's a tough look from the plate to see because the bag is between your vision and the foot of the first baseman. So they do leave it as out. Whether that was seen and confirmed or when you're checking on that, it could also have been, I don't have anything. There's nothing I can see there. So it's all the base umpire's call. John Byington out and politely asked for the help. They check it, leave it as an out, 2 down. Thanks to John Byington, Marcus Gilmore coaching up the Miracles, leading 10-6 in the 7th. Mentioned Tim Galindo and Zach Bissell, Nate Lovato on the staff for the Grays. Coach Gilmore is over at third base. First base flying empty right now. No base coach at first until somebody gets aboard. A player will pop out there and assist. Swing and Jackson Schlepper missed. It's a 3-1 count as Verdugo keeps it alive. And Reed keeps it alive at 3-2 now. Ball will keep the inning alive for the Miracles. Schlepper walks. One ball, no strike count. That ball is blasted to center. Turning and running is Conkling. That's gone off the batter's eye in center field. That is a launch. Monster shot. Good night. Austin Reese broke the fourth wall in a crease. Exit stage center. Wow. That's 410 to center. And that ball hit not quite halfway up the batter's eye, but that backdrop, the black backdrop, to help create contrast for the ball out of the pitcher's hand. My goodness. I told you, I've been sitting here thinking, man, that Austin Reese can play some offense. He can play some baseball. Has been an impressive hitter this whole season, and that thing was a demonstration of such. Ground ball from Jansen Roberts will end the frame. Ground out to second base for Roberts after the 2-run demolition from Austin Reese. What a shot from Reese. That puts a dozen on the board for the Miracles. They're doubling up on the Grays into the top of the 8th for Greeley coming to bat.
The Palace of Pong, the place for paddles. Ping Pong Palace, where ping pong players play ping pong and people populate pre- and post-perfect performances at the ball yard. Ping Pong Palace, positioned perfectly for our population, perpendicular to the pit, plus pleasant proximity to our pristine pond. Please, pop in for Pong. Purchase pop, popcorn, pizza, pastries.
Take it from
That guy's a dude. To have the newest, expensivest bat on the market. Bro. And it's gotta have the coolest name. Bro. Brand new. Just dropped. Tanks. Whatever the newest metals and materials might be, this bat is always one evolution newer. The Batco Crouching Tiger Nuke Mash Pummel Destroy Quad X Quadruple Extreme. Making mediocre hitters superstars. That guy's a dude. $600 at a time. Bro.
Nine-inning ball game. It's the top of the 8th, and the Grays have work to do. Peter Torbicki leads off, left side batter. Torbicki takes a couple pitches. No strikes against him. 2-0 count. Logan Wilson grinding through some freckles and keeping them in a 12-6 lead. Torbicki sends it to center. Still going, and it gets over the head and down. Hunter Morgan was drifting on that ball, and it kept carrying it. Again, that wind blowing a little bit, and Morgan now turns and leans up against the center field wall, frustrated, puts both arms up there like he was going to be frisked by law enforcement. Torbicki score him a double on that. I think Hunter Morgan, tell you, he pretty sure he could have had an out on that. Tough ball. It was driving him back, turning and running. Got to where he needed to be, couldn't pull it down, and didn't get the acceleration, didn't turn and run with the explosive takeoff that he's capable of. That ball just kept going from Torbicki. As the ball's traveling, saw Austin Reese demonstrate that, but that's a lot of Austin Reese, too, making the ball travel. Caleb Kasari, 2 hits, 2 for 3 night. Got a walk added to his 2 hits. Pitch wide of the zone. Makes it a 1-2 count to Kasari. Verdugo's on deck. Grays are down by 6. That pitch ties up De La Cueva. He tried to get over there and handle it, but it just ate him up. It's a wild pitch. Over to third, Peter Torbicki. Another wide one to the lefty. Count fills up. 3-2 pitch from Wilson above the zone. Walk to Kasari has the first 2 aboard. Corners for the Grays. Alejandro Verdugo, current pitcher of record for the Grays. Bends backwards away from an inside pitch for ball one. Grays need 6 runs to pull back to even. They've whittled leads back to ties tonight. De La Cueva walks out a little bit. Might be talking to Wilson, might be talking to the defense about the first and third. Miracles have some house money to play with up by 6, so they've got options on first and third. That ball is down on the right field side, rolling toward the corner. It checks up and bounces around. Double for Verdugo. Scores Torbicki. Casari to third. A line shot double. Good wood bat barrel and an RBI for Alejandro Verdugo. Brennan Taylor heated one up earlier tonight to center field for a triple. If he could do that, he'd get the lead down to half of what it was. It's 12-7 now, 2 guys out there. Strike 1 to Taylor. He gets a big swat again. This ball is over the head and left and bounces twice to the wall. 1 run in, another run coming around. He does plate them both. Grays have cut the lead back to half of what it was, from 12-6 to 12-9. A double for Brendan Taylor. Since he entered, he's got 3 quarters. He's got 3 at-bats, and he's got 75% of a cycle. Triple, single, and a double for Brendan Taylor. 2 ribbies on that swing. All 3 of his hits have produced RBI. 4 of those now for Taylor. He's got a courtesy runner out there for him as the Grays will run for their catcher. It's Brogan Barr who came on. Update the tally with nobody out. Logan Wilson is heading off the mound. Teammates greet him at the top of the step, first base side. Logan Wilson grinds along for the Miracles and got some good work done. He'll yield here. John Byington making a pitching change and trying to punch the buttons here, working on the rotations. Talking at the plate. Now that information being shared over to Tim Galindo. And the shortstop, Jackson Schlepper, climbs the hill. Not sure what the message was that was relayed from Coach Byington. Could be anything as simple as those are prescription glasses he's got on, to something about the defensive rotation. Jeremiah Lucero went to shortstop. Maverick Alcaria is now defending at second base, getting ground balls rolled around to them by first baseman Austin Reese. Jansen Roberts still at third for the infield defense of the Miracles. In the top of the 8th, with the moon making an appearance over the video board, and you can see that puppy in your shot. Wonder if we could turn the lights out for a minute and the video board off. Hang on a second. I'm going to flip this breaker box switch over here. Let me see what this does. Moon emerges from a little cloud bank out there, and it's smiling right at the ball field now. That's a moment. Thank you, Moon. A little drama from Mr. Lunar. 12-9, and Torbicki turns on one, drives this to right, exit stage right. Check that. Scott Thompson, I thought 44. He was already up in the frame. 14, Scott Thompson, give him the creds. Wow. Thompson made a great catch in left field tonight, and now he just climbs the right field wall and clears that with a rocket shot off the new pitcher, Jackson Schlepper, and it's a one-run game. Holy Scott Thompson. Liam Conkling tries to match it with a daddy hack. Strike one. Scott Thompson just punished that baseball. Holy cow. Eloquence abounds. Holy cow. Scott Thompson making people talk dumb. 12-11. 5 runs in the inning for the Grays. Conkling swings, and he's out. Jackson Schlepper got him. That's the first out of the inning for the El Paso County Baseball Miracles. First 5 guys who came to the plate all reached. 4 of those were hits, just 1 walk in this frame. Strike starts off Cole Crosant. Chops it down the third base side foul. Torbicki started with a double. Casari walked. Verdugo doubled, RBI. Brennan Taylor doubled, 2 RBI. Scott Thompson nuked, 2 RBI. Some new baseballs coming out from the first base dugout. Slow roller, going to be a problem here. Crosant is safe. Cole wheels it down the line. I've known that guy since he was somewhere in his 12-year-old age range, and I've known him as a wheels dude, and that's proof positive. Cole Crosant rolls one on the infield and gets on his horse, figuratively. One out, Crosant likely to go somewhere here. Keegan Randall. Grays have a pretty good situation going here with Randall up. Good stick, who just came into the game in the 7th inning. That's the first time he batted, at least. Out on that attempt, but Keegan Randall's a guy who can do some things with the bat. He's going to lift this one. Floating over center. Alcaria going out. That ball's going to drop in, and Crosant gets there in time to avoid the force out at second. Hunter Morgan was not terribly deep, but deep-ish with the ball carrying, and a good hitter, Randall up, and Mav Alcaria from second base tried to close the ground heading back to the outfield, and it falls in. Crosant waiting as the runner between 1 and 2 gets in safely at second with Keegan Randall aboard now. Tying run is out there at second base with Crosant. Caleb Tejada, 9th batter of the inning for the Grays. Tejada lifts one to right. That's pushing back to the track, to the wall. Bounces off the wall. This game's going to be tied as the ball is sent in from Maddox Stahl, and holding up at first base is Caleb Tejada. Over to third goes Keegan Randall, and it's at least the 3rd time tonight that the Grays have come from behind to even the tally. This one is a new high water mark for either offense in a single inning. That's a 6-run frame, and it's not done yet. Runners on the corners with one away. I didn't see Caleb Tejada out of the box. I don't know if he thought it was going to be caught or if he thought it was gone, but he's on first base on a ball that had high height to it. Was up in the air for a long time, bounced one hop off the wall, had to be kind of corralled out there and right by Maddox Stahl. Tejada, I'm sure he knows over at first if he's on his horse there, he's pretty easily got 2 bags. De La Cueva just makes himself a pin cushion, absorbs that bouncer. As the moon rises above the video board scoreboard. Down pitch is a ball and a free pass to Peter Torbicki in his second plate appearance of the inning. Loads him with a walk. Jackson Schlepper, the pitcher, trying to find a way through turbulence just north of the Colorado Springs Airport. But this is on the ground and in the air. Off the bats of the Grays, swing and a miss for Casari. Oh, 1 from Schlepper, fouled off 0-2. Elevated pitch is a swing through strikeout. Casari is down. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Gray's batters, the only 2 outs that have been recorded. This is a mess of an inning for the results created by the Grays, put on the Miracles. Strike. Charged against Alejandro Verdugo on a take and a ball in the zone. Runner's going to steal home. Here's the pitch. It's wide, wild. Pressure play put on, and the steal of home gives the Grays the lead. Keegan Randall took off. He was stealing on the front side of that. Sometimes you steal on the throwback. He was going on the pitch before like the motion start, and it jostled Schlepper, who fired it way wide. It's a ball on the board, a run on the board. 13-12. Ball served out to left, running toward the gap. Catch is made in left, and Verdugo flies out, and the Greeley Grays pump out a 7-run frame. Touchdown, Greeley. 13-12, bottom of the 8th. Miracles play from behind for the first time in the game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dramatic stall. RBI triple in the 6th. Opens up with a ball for the bottom of the 8th, and his team down by 1. Rolls it towards short. Multi-hopper. Randall picks, flips, and 1 down. Steal of home. Hold on, that was Cole Crosant who went over to short. So they're moving him around out there, trying to keep up with the traffic. Verdugo is at second base on D. Stahl grounds out to Crosant. Miracles led 1-0, then 3-0. Then they were tied 3-3, went up 6-3. Then tied 6-6, went up 10-6, went up 12-6. Now down 13-12. First deficit of the night for the batting team. Yeah, it is Keegan Randall who's on the hill, so working the revolving door of personnel as the Grays mix match, sift and sort through the personnel, try to get a W here in the spring. He's pitched down for a swing and a strike. It's low in the zone, and De La Cueva swings through it. Keegan Randall on the steal of home. Gave his team the lead. Top of the 8th, that's the go-ahead run. De La Cueva jammed, running on and reaching, snagging Liam Conkling. Nice play in center field as Liam attacks that shallow ball in center. Big out there. Could have courtesy run for the catcher. Tying run would have been some wheels. And Conkling turns in a nice defensive play in center. Running that down. Bryson Martinez, last hope of the bottom of the 8th for the El Paso County Baseball Miracles. 0-1 count. Keegan Randall looking pretty good on the bump. It's a foul back, 0-2. Randall with a little double kick in his delivery. Comes to balance, and he did like a little hesitation move, a little hezzy. Jumps back on the bump. 0-2 pitch, trying to close the bottom of the 8th and send it to the final frame with the Grays in the lead. Long look in from Randall. Hammers a pitch down in the dirt. Brennan Taylor, self-defense block there. Did the block job. That was kind of a ouch. I'm going to stay in front of this, but man, this one's going to hurt. Don't get fleshy parts. 1-2 pitch from Randall. Swing and a miss. Keegan Randall rips through the 3 batters in the bottom of the 8th, and the Grays have a reversal on the mat right here. Taking the lead in the top of the 8th and now going to the 9th, playing for the win in Colorado Springs.
River Morgan presents famous baseball quotes.
You tell me right now, Jimmy Morris.
Progress.
It's supposed to be hard.
Always
Bobby.
involved.
If it
It's
wasn't
killing
hard,
me.
everyone would do
second base
The
and
hard
keep your foot
is what
on
makes
first.
it great. You want to have a catch? Smalls.
All yard baseball. All yard baseball.
Brennan Taylor foul ball on the first pitch. That was in on him, almost got him. Brennan started the swing and then tried to abort. Had a tap foul. 0-1, Jackson Schlepper will try to handle these 3 outs to get the Miracles back for a last chance tie or walk-off. 0-2 with a foul off from Taylor. Now a chopper foul, third base side. Tim Galindo, nice hands play. Makes a quick transfer and throw back to Jackson Schlepper, the third base coach. Galindo, slick. Has a moray eel. Try that one on for size. This is a high pop out above second. Maverick Alcaria is having trouble, and that ball is going to get down, and second base is had by Brennan Taylor. Alcaria called for it loudly. You could hear him up here in the booth. Did everything right, except the ball traveled deeper away from him. Flag's still moving. You can see him out by the scoreboard that you can't see. And that's the direction that ball landed behind Maverick's catch attempt. Error at second base. Schlepper looks back to second. Scott Thompson branded a baseball, tattooed one over the right field wall. His last time up, last inning, 2-run shot that greeted this pitcher, Jackson Schlepper. First pitch, and Thompson went all yaya on it. Courtesy runner just popped on Brogan Barr out at second for the catcher, Taylor. Little soft swat, check swing, and Thompson's going to beat it. The throw is up top, over the top. Runner's going to come around. Courtesy runner Barr scores immediately. He checks in and plates. Scott Thompson single on that. He's gonna beat that on a check swing. Little wedge shot out in the middle of the diamond. There's an error on the back of that on the throw that went over the top. That's what brought the run in. Grays get another. Now a soft bouncer in the infield, and Conkling's going to beat that out. Holy cow, Grays. Can't even keep up with all the statistical activities going on. Liam Conkling, single. Thompson to second. Score bug is updated. 14-12 the score. Nobody out in the top of 9. As we go north of 3 hours on a pleasant night at Blocktickets Park. Colorado Springs, the site of the matchup. Only game going in the Front Range League. That's a foul tip, and the runner will go back. Thompson trying to pick up a bag. Can't do it. Runner takes off, chop toward third, and safe at third. The foot was on the bag. Thompson running lets him beat that. Runner's out at first base on the throw across. Cole Croson, it's 5-3. Pretty slick play by Jansen Roberts. He fielded that. As he gloved it, he stuck his foot on the bag behind him, but Thompson pulled in just in front of that attempt. The runners to second and third, and the out recorded. Keegan Randall tried to wear that. It didn't find him. Schlepper's pitch is wide of the zone. Only other game that got played in the Front Range League tonight, Boulder 64s 11-1 over NoCo Prospectors. 64s keep chasing the Fort Collins Foxes atop the league standings with the Western Nebraska Pioneers right on their heels. Ball down the line, hits the bag, bounces off a third. 2 runs are in. Keegan Randall rounds and retreats to first base. on a shot down the third baseline that bounced off the base and skipped straight down the line, stayed right along the foul line into left field. And the Grays have 2 across, 3 in the inning. Great late offense, the surge here. And Keegan Randall looked good on the hill last inning. I'm sure he's going to close here when this inning comes to an end. And if he does at all what he did in his first frame of work in the 8th, Grays are in a great position. It'll be Lucero, Brainerd, and Morgan, the 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Miracles, who now trail by 4. Well hit to right. That's going to get over the top. Bounce to the wall. Caleb Tejada has a double and drives, and he's going to have a triple. Kept on going. He slowed down, looked in front of him to see if the lead runner, Keegan Randall, was going to keep on going. When he did, Tejada re-accelerated and books a triple and an RBI. And the Grays offense is steamrolling now. 4-run frame. Jackson Schlepper just gets it back and keeps firing like the spirit and the approach of Schlepper. 1-0 count, 2-0 count. Peter Torbicki takes down 3-0. Both bullpens empty. Torbicki, I don't think he wanted to walk. He didn't look thrilled with ball 4. He tosses his bat. And the Miracles are going to talk at the hill. Runners on the corners and 1 out. And a mound visit for John Byington with a 4-run lead. Going to get a pitching change. Maverick Alcaria will be the new pitcher for the Miracles. And for the Grays, it's Caleb Kasari who will be the first to see Maverick Alcaria.
The Palace of Pong, the place for paddles. Ping Pong Palace, where ping pong players play ping pong and people populate pre- and post-perfect performances at the ball yard. Ping Pong Palace, positioned perfectly for our population, perpendicular to the pit, plus pleasant proximity to our pristine pond. Please, pop in for Pong. Purchase pop, popcorn, pizza, pastries.
Take it from me. Ping Pong Winchester. The place for Pong is Ping Pong Palace.
Ping Pong Palace, positioned perfectly for our population, perpendicular to the pit, plus pleasant proximity to our pristine pond. Please, pop in for Pong.
Number 4 pitching, number 4 batting. Caleb Kasari for the Grays, left side batter against Maverick Alcaria, who fires strike 1. 17-12 on the scoreboard. 2 runners aboard for the Grays. 1 out in the inning. They had 7 runs last inning and 4 more now in the 9th. Runner takes off, and De La Cueva pushes that ball down. I think he just glove pointed out to Alcari. I think he liked the pitch, executed what they wanted, didn't get the swing from Casari. 1-1 count. Runners now at second and third off of the advance. Liner to first is caught. Austin Reese has it. Good barrel for Casari, out number 2. Alejandro Verdugo. Brennan Taylor on deck with the shin guards on the catcher. He should just bat with those on. Wide of the zone. Verdugo has a 2-0 advantage here. Now a 3-0 count. Strike still active in the count. 3-1. And a swinging strike makes it full. 2 away. Maverick trying to close before the Grays add to their 4-run frame. Can't pull that one out of the hat. Got in the hole. Came back, but then walks. The base is loaded. Verdugo on. Brennan Taylor. Triple, single, double. Reached on an error in this inning. He's batting for the second time. He led off the inning. But triple in the 5th, single in the 6th, double in the 8th. If he gets long ball swing here, grand slam, it's a cycle after entering in the 5th inning. That'd be something completely unexpected. Seems nearly unachievable. But he's got a chance to swing and do it. Alcari, a nice pitch. Bent that to a 2-1 count. Three-one count after the ball. Taylor swings and out he goes. Can't complete the cycle in what would have been super speedy fashion in a game coming in the 5th. Good offensive night. Now he'll don the gear and try to help the Grays close on a 5-run lead in the final round for the Miracles at the plate. Looking at Lucero, Brainerd, and Morgan trying to get the engine running here and the train rolling toward a 5-run comeback. for the Miracles. Grays have scored 11 runs in the final 2 innings, 7 in the 8th, 4 in the 9th, and lead by 5. Keegan Randall for the close for the Greeley Grays sends strike 1 through the zone. Now levels at 1-1. Jeremiah Lucero, it is on deck for Miracles, Maverick Alcaria. Maverick's first AB coming up. He finished off the pitching duties for the Miracles in the 9th. Center field ball coming in now, retreating and heading back and misread it. Conkling had that get over his head, trying for 3 bags. Ill-advised leading off a frame when you're down by 5, but it works out as the ball rolls in. And the first guy ends up at third base, Lucero. We'll go double. Man, we'll go just triple. Why not? It's like 3 a.m. Eastern time. No, it's not quite that. Just after midnight Eastern time, 10:01 Mountain time. Get a triple for that. That's probably the scoring either way. The throw on the backside, I think, had a chance to get him, but missed the relay, man. You can't really call that. You can sort of split the decision on that part of it. And just a misread on the ball. Alcaria buckles away from a bender from Randall, and it's inside for a 2-0 count. Maverick Alcaria back to the top with Hunter Morgan next. Alcaria fouls it off, and it's 2-1. There's a swing and a strikeout pitch. Good comeback in the count. Keegan Randall works the out. Gray's unconcerned about the runner at third base, Lucero, with the 5-run lead. working the plate here. Top of the order for the Miracles. They would need their most productive inning of the night. They're going to get a shot to left that Thompson ranges over. That was on the transfer, so count the out. And Thompson gloved it, went to try to pick that out and make a throw, I think back to third. He might have been trying to get in behind the runner, dropped it, but that was post catch. So call that a sac fly. RBI knocking in the run from third, Lucero. Morgan hit it well, laser to left. (17-13). Again, the Miracles will need their biggest frame of the night. They need 5 total here. They've got 1 now. Their biggest inning was 4. Bending pitch is good for a strike. Schlepper holding the final opportunity in his hands to pass the baton to the power bat. Number 3 guy, Austin Reese, 2 for 4 in the game. Reese with a single and a massive bomb. 1-2 the count. Keegan Randall working on the final strike, final out of the Grays, trying to get a W here in the Springs. Pitch from Randall, fouled away right side. Grays and Miracles each with 4 wins on the season. Grays on the brink of their 5th. Time was taken again. Long look-ins from Keegan Randall, and Jackson Schlepper not willing to hang out any longer a couple times. Here comes Randall, 1-2. Got him, outer edge. And the Greeley Grays cap off a big finish. 11 runs in the final 2 frames. They go 17-13 on the win. Going to plug that score into the results grid right now and update the standings in the Front Range League after the completion of the Thursday, July 10, what ended up being a 2-game slate after the game in Nebraska was irrigated out. Irrigation issue took down the scheduled contest between the Diamond Club Collegians and Western Nebraska Pioneers. This game 17-13 to the visiting team Greeley Grays. Caps off the night of action after the Boulder 64s got a win 11-1 over the NoCo Prospectors in tonight's action. And with the standings updated, Grays have a little nudge ahead of the Miracles. They're in the bottom of the standings pack. Now a game and a half ahead of the Miracles, and they're scheduled to play again tomorrow. Another matchup here. Front-running Fort Collins Foxes 22-3 on the year. They're 3 games ahead of the Boulder 64s, 20-7 their mark. 2 teams atop the table. Check the standings at FrontRangeLeague.com. All 8 teams in the Front Range League from Pueblo up to Gering, Nebraska, and points in between. Standings moving around as the second half of the season is underway, post-All-Star hiatus this week. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Front Range Baseball Network. Thad Anderson closing it out from Blocktickets Park with the Grays winning 17-13 over the El Paso County Baseball Miracles. They'll do it again tomorrow night, same time, 6:35 p.m. Mountain Time Zone. Until then, enjoy your Friday. That's all from Blocktickets Park. So long from Colorado Springs.